Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, second video of the day. If this morning we did a video about the post-game of Juve Inter in detail, players, coach, analyze, tactics, etc, even Zazzaroni that said that Max Allegri would not be the coach of Juventus next year. Well, now we are back with a format that I tested after the win over Cagliari, and I asked your feedback and you were all telling me, Beppe, we really like that format. Everyone was saying we like that format, except of the people that said, yes, we like it, but don't forget also the deep in detail analysis, because we really want your opinion, otherwise you will probably miss some information. So I tried to make everyone happy. If you want to make Beppe happy, if you want to make me happy, please, maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe, because now we start. And for the people that has absolutely no idea what I'm speaking about, what the concept is, well, it's not a rating, it's not a top 10, it's actually putting facts nice to know, or actually things that make me think about a specific number from 1 to 10. Except that this time there is a newness, because last time we didn't mention number 0. And from now on I really want to go from 0 to 10. So let's start with number 0. What am I thinking about number 0? Well, the number 0 is referring to Cuadrado. And not that much because he went to Inter. I already went over that fact. It was annoying, yes, of course. But it was more the fact that he really insisted and he did everything to be available, to be at the Allianz Stadium. He knows that it will probably be 1 year only with the Nerazzurri, that probably later he will go away from Italy, and that was his only opportunity to be at the Allianz Stadium. He did everything to try to beat Juve yesterday, which is normal because you are giving everything for your team, but it's a pity because yesterday he was trying to dive, he was trying to simulate, he was trying to go really harsh on contact on Kostic, not really being that fair play. I didn't like how Cuadrado behaved after that. It's a pity. And I felt a bit of, I want to take revenge, because Juventus management didn't give me that contract extension for 1 more year that I deserve, or at least that's what he was thinking about. And I said, okay, great. I understand that sometimes you cannot go in agreement with everyone, that you are a bit, you have that sense of revenge. On the other side, what about us? What about the supporter that always showed affection towards him? That year at Inter, he will not be remembered from the Inter fans as being Cuadrado, fantastic legend. It could have been for Juve, for Juventini. And he took it away. And it's a real pity. It is what it is. 0 for Cuadrado and his behavior anyway. What about the number 1? Corners. Yesterday, corners. It's exaggerated because there is no S, there is no plural. Only 1 corner in the total game for both teams. In total, 1 corner. Just to tell you that in a Juventus Inter, you are expecting more. And that fact, that number, the number 1 with 1 corner, is really representing what we saw yesterday. Teams that were in their own area, they were trying to take dominance of possession, or at least Inter succeeded, not Juve, but they were not putting any offensive intensity, only 1 corner. Number 2, well, the same distance in the ranking that we started before the game, we have exactly the same, so 2 points from Inter. We are second, and I want to add it also something else on number 2. It's actually the second time ever in the history of Juve that the player is starting his official debut from the first minute against Inter. This time it was Nicolussi. The only player it's Fagioli. Fagioli did as well. His very first time from the first minute against Inter. So Nicolussi is joining Fagioli. Who will it be in the future? We will see it. Number 3 for the yellow cards. What about the yellow cards? 3 were given. 1 to Inter, 2 for Juventus. Also that, like the corner, is showing how low the intensity was. I'm not used to a Juve Inter, to a Derby d'Italia with not a lot of fights. Probably the one of Coppa Italia last year was exaggerated, not probably, was exaggerated, but 2 for Juve, 1 for Inter is probably really significant in saying the intensity was low. There were not a lot of real duels, and it's a pity to see only 3 yellow cards. What is even more a pity is that Cambiaso, on top of Kostic, is the one that received the yellow card. He is now joining Federico Gatti in being at risk of suspension. So against Monza, Gatti and Cambiaso has to pay attention, otherwise they will miss the game against Napoli. What about number 4? Only 4 attempts for Juventus. 4 attempts with only 1 shot on target. 4 attempts is the negative record versus Inter in a single match since 2004-2005. This is the year when Opta Opta Stats started to collect the data of every single game. So we can say that actually our offensive part yesterday was extremely poor, with only one shot on target, and luckily it was goal from Dusan Vlahovic. Other than that, nothing. Speaking about Vlahovic, number 5, of course, going to Dusan Vlahovic. It's not his rating, but it's the goal that he scored in Serie A this season. We were waiting for it. He was waiting for it. After 71 days, he was able to score a goal again. I am happy. We are happy because it gave us momentarily, at least for 6 minutes, the top of Serie A. 5 goals in 659 minutes. It's an average of 0.60 goals per 90 minutes. He needs to increase it if you want to join all the other strikers. He needs to increase it if we want to continue to score, if we want to continue to win. What about 6? Well, speaking about goals, it's actually the 6 consecutive games that Juventus is going in goals. Why is it significant? Why is it important? Because last year 6 games with goals was actually what we were able to do as the max. That was the record of consecutive games scoring. Hopefully we can score against Monza. Hopefully we can do better than last year. Otherwise that means that we will lose points against Monza, and I hope this will not be the case. What about number 7? Well, the possession won by Andrea Cambiaso. And you will say, mamma mia, 7th time he won the possession. Strange, because we didn't speak a lot about Cambiaso. We didn't notice him a lot yesterday. Well, 7th time he was able to recuperate the ball, and this is actually the most of the both teams. So he was the best of Juve, but also the best of Inter in recuperating balls. It's not a mystery that Allegri, but also Spalletti in the last camp of Italy, were trying him as a midfielder. Does he really have that capacity to recuperate the ball? Big question there. Number 8, the games in a row undefeated. That's what we reach now. Last season, that was our max, our biggest record. 8 games without losing. Unfortunately, the 9th game arrived, and it was the game against Napoli that we all remember was a really terrific loss with a 5-1. And now we are playing against Monza. So the game against Monza is important because N6 were the games that were able to score in a row and then it stopped. N8 were the consecutive games that we were not able to lose, and then it stops against Napoli. So attenzione, because I'm a bit stressing now. Number 9 for the points that we have above the number 5 in the ranking of Serie A. That is at this point Roma, because they won yesterday. Atalanta and Fiorentina lost. Why is it good? Why is it a good performance? Because even if Rabiot said that we want to win the Scudetto, even if in the heart of every single Juventino we have that dream to go and to try at least to win that Scudetto, it's true that if the number 5 is at 9 points from us, is taking some stress away from us. We can, focus on trying something instead of being scared that the other ones are recuperating and that we could potentially go out of top 4, which would be financially a drama, and also the consequences on the mercato, etc, etc. What about number 10, the last one? Well, number 10 is actually what we are missing. A player with the skills of a number 10, that creative link in the midfield that is able not only to support defensively but also to do something offensively. Because yesterday with Nicolussi, with McKennie, with Rabiot, but even with Locatelli later, I didn't see any player that was able to give me that magic in the midfield, and that's probably what we need. A player like Samardzic, maybe even De Paul, that is not my favorite one, could bring a bit of skills of the number 10, being a link, and we really need it if we really want to do much better than these only 4 attempts against Inter. We have to do better. So short video, I hope you enjoyed. What was the number that impressed you the most? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10? Let me know in the comments. Grazie, forza, Juve.